What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer. Just recently Blizzard announced Overwatch 2 Spotlight, an upcoming stream that'll apparently be showcasing a ton of new content and likely serving as the roadmap for Overwatch 2 over the course of 2025. So in today's video I want to talk about what exactly we can expect from this upcoming event, what it's likely to actually show us for new content and other sorts of features, and basically just give my thoughts, hopes, and expectations on what exactly this is going to be. So to start off, I just want to read through the major points here of the announcement post, which they did post on all their social media as well as the official blog site. And they headlined this announcement by referring to it as groundbreaking PvP gameplay changes coming. Learn more on February 12th. In 2025, Overwatch 2 is going to be packed with groundbreaking changes to the PvP experience that'll be unlike anything you've seen before. But it's going to take more than a blog or a developer update to let you know what we have coming this year. So on Wednesday, February 12th, tune into our YouTube and Twitch channels for a new live stream event, Overwatch 2 Spotlight. Not only are we looking at incredible changes to how the game is played, you'll get a glance at new heroes, new maps, and even more content coming this February and beyond. Grab your favorite peanut butter flavored snack and tune in on Wednesday, February 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We're also inviting dozens of your favorite Overwatch 2 content creators to Blizzard Entertainment in Irvine for a unique chance to get hands-on and live stream the new gameplay you'll see in Overwatch 2 Spotlight. You'll also be able to pick up the Lucio Cyber DJ Legendary skin as an exclusive drop when you watch 1 hour of these creators' streams. Be sure to have your account linked, yada yada yada, and that basically wraps up the actual announcement of the post itself. So, what can we actually discern from this? Well, first and foremost, I think this is, without a doubt, going to be the 2025 roadmap for Overwatch 2. Many of the other Blizzard titles late in 2024 got some sort of similar roadmap showcase or live stream showing off stuff, but Overwatch, for whatever reason, did not, which is why more than likely that's what this is going to end up being. And there's some important things to take note of here in the actual text of the announcement itself. First of all, I want to focus on the fact that they emphasize groundbreaking changes to the PvP experience specifically. No mention of PvE here, none whatsoever, but they do very clearly mention PvP, and I think they did that for one very specific reason, which is to manage people's expectations. If they'd not specified PvP, everybody would be assuming there's at least a chance of PvE returning with whatever gets showcased here, which would then lead to disappointment when ultimately there's nothing PvE related. So, first and foremost, I think it's safe to say, no PvE at this event. Unless they're trying to intentionally lower our expectations just to wow us with PvE, but I don't think that's the case. I think genuinely it's just going to be PvP focused, nothing PvE. The other thing that stuck out to me is the use of the term groundbreaking, and that they specifically mention this PvP experience will be unlike anything we've seen before. So that seems to indicate that whatever is being shown off here is something brand new, which means this isn't just going to be them announcing that 6v6 is going to come back as the new de facto team composition format, because that wouldn't be groundbreaking. That's literally how Overwatch was for the entirety of Overwatch 1. That's not to say they won't make that announcement, though I don't really expect that they will, but just that whatever is the major gameplay type announcement to be coming in this is something that will be new, not just, oh, we're going back to how Overwatch 1 was. No, this is a new path forward. As for what that path forward is, well, I have some ideas, but I'll talk about those a bit later. The other, I think, major thing to focus on here is when they talk about the actual sort of content we can expect to see, where they mention we'll get a glance at new heroes, plural, new maps, also plural, and even more content coming this February and beyond. So this to me is very much what also seals the idea of this being a roadmap, because clearly we are going to get a look at multiple new heroes. And if I had to hazard a guess, I'm betting they're going to play it very similar to what we saw back at BlizzCon 2023, which not only served as the official announcement of Malga as a tank, with him releasing that same day as a playtest, but also they showed off Venture and some of their gameplay, showed off images of Space Ranger, who later we came to know as Juno, and even had that teaser for Hazard, a whole more than a year year in advance of his actual release. So I'm going to wager that whatever ends up happening during this Overwatch 2 Spotlight event will be something very similar. Certainly, without a shred of a doubt, we're going to get a proper reveal of the upcoming Season 16 hero, whoever that ends up being. We're going to find out who they are, we're going to get some gameplay of them, we're going to see them probably in action, since as it actually mentions later in this post, some content creators are actually going to be able to play test a lot of these changes shown off here in California when this goes on. So I'm pretty convinced that one of the things they'll be playing is that new hero who, again, isn't supposed to be coming out in Season 15, is supposed to be coming out Season 16, though maybe they'll mix it up. Again, Marvel Rivals being on the scene has certainly put the iron to Blizzard in terms of making Overwatch 2 exciting, so maybe we do get a Season 15 hero, in which case, well, either way, I still think we're going to be having hero gameplay showcased during this event for that next hero, regardless of whether they launch in Season 15 or 16, and the same then will also apply to maps as well. Season 15 is expected to introduce a new map with the launch of that season, since odd number seasons have maps, even number seasons of heroes, although Blizzard doesn't always stick to that necessarily. But yeah, I think a new map reveal, the next new map at the very least, for sure is going to get shown off here, along with the next new hero. But beyond that, we're evidently going to be seeing something of heroes and maps beyond that. Whether it's similar to what they did with Venture, where they just reveal the character's name, appearance, and some of their gameplay, or maybe they're a bit more vague about it in the vein of what they did with Juno or Hazard. We don't know how in-depth exactly they're going to go with actually talking about these heroes and maps that are coming up, but we're absolutely going to be getting concrete information to some degree on these upcoming content editions, with, again, I think the most imminently upcoming hero and map likely getting full proper reveals and gameplay shown off here. Likewise, for content coming later in 2025, we're probably also going to get a lot of this teased as well. Maybe there's going to be a new game mode dropping sometime later this year. We've seen Overwatch 2 add a new game mode basically every year since it's launched at this point. It launched with Push as a new mode, then in 2023 we ended up getting Flashpoint, 2024 we got Clash. I would not be surprised if there's another new mode added in 2025, and while I'm not convinced that it'll be releasing in Season 15 or 16, since usually those new modes seem to drop around August, I wouldn't be surprised if they at least announce whatever new mode is going to be coming up later this year, and probably show off one or two of the maps that are going to be associated with it. We might also get more insight into the future of modes like 6v6 or Overwatch Classic, both of which have been extremely successful in their own right, and while I mentioned that I don't think those are going to be like the major announcement of this particular presentation, I wouldn't be surprised to get them mentioned in some regard, some idea about what these are going to look like going forward, maybe future 6v6 or Classic playtests that'll be in Season 15, 16, or beyond, or maybe just a general vibe or direction on Blizzard's part when it comes to these types of 6v6 modes and what they're looking to do with them going forward. Now, in a similar vein to this, it's also worth noting that with this showcase taking place on February 12th, it is only set about a week before the anticipated launch of Season 15. So I think we're also going to see this Spotlight event serve as the season trailer for Season 15, or at the very least, showcase basically everything we would expect to see in a trailer during this showcase, which means we'll probably get a look at the Battle Pass theme, Mythic skin, and whatever other sort of changes, features, and events are going to be taking place in there. Maybe the next upcoming collab will get spotlighted during this. There's a lot of things we can expect, but I think we're going to get a heavy emphasis on Season 15, in addition to a proper roadmap of content to come over the course of 2025, along with whatever these major groundbreaking PvP changes are going to be. And on that note, let's talk a bit more about what exactly that's going to mean. This is getting far more into the realm of speculation here because there's a lot of different things they could potentially do for this, but I do think it is important to consider that this time last year, back in February 2024, was when we got that major competitive update for Overwatch 2, specifically the one that ended up introducing some pretty major gameplay changes, such as the self-healing passive for all roles. That was a pretty groundbreaking change back at its time, and even back at that time, Blizzard mentioned that they want every February season basically to be a sort of big shakeup, if not for competitive specifically, then for the game as a whole. So I think we're now seeing them stick to that idea with introducing whatever's coming in this next season starting in February. Now, as for what exactly these changes are going to be, this is where it gets kind of interesting. There's a lot of possible things they could do. They could just mix up the role passives alternatives. They could add new mechanics to certain heroes. They could change how like some sort of map features work. There's a lot of vague ideas, but I think actually one of the more specific things that's worth considering here is the idea of individual heroes gaining perks and talents. Now, this is one that we've seen tested to some degree in various arcade modes over the years, and most specifically recently, during the most recent Halloween Terror event, we had Junkenstein's Laboratory, a mode which wholly focused around the idea of getting to pick pseudo-randomized talents and bonuses, basically, for the heroes available in that mode. And by Blizzard's own admission, due to the fact that they extended that event way longer than they initially planned to have it run for, it seemed like that whole perks and talent system, even in a PvP context like that Junkenstein's Laboratory mode, was extremely popular. So much so that I wouldn't be terribly surprised for them to introduce that as an actual core part of the game. It would very much so be a groundbreaking change for them to introduce. It would be unlike anything we'd seen in the main proper modes of quick playing competitive ever before, but at the same time not be so insane or ridiculous of an addition that I think it would break the game per se. It would certainly change things a lot, which is why I'm skeptical that it would actually end up being something like that, but maybe. Again, I think the sheer popularity of that mode back during Halloween probably is a good indicator that Blizzard at the very least would want to play around with a talent system going forward. Maybe not this soon, seeing as, Halloween was only a few months ago. That's a pretty short time frame there for them to jump from experimenting randomly with a mode like that and then shoving it into the main game. So time frame wise, maybe it wouldn't work simply because of that. But overall, I think the idea of them adding changes of this scale could very well end up being on the table. Some other things they might introduce as well, more normal type changes, I guess by comparison, would be things like a hero or map ban system. This is something I know a lot of people have been talking about, especially in light of Marvel Rivals, and it's something that would almost certainly only exist in the competitive side of the game, which means maybe it's not quite as impactful or groundbreaking as we're expecting whatever changes to be coming to end up being, but it's definitely going to be something that would change up how the game works. If Mercy gets banned every single match, well, that would be interesting. But either way, we are going to just have to wait and see on that front. Gameplay wise, I don't really know the scope of what they're going to end up introducing here. Again, just using last year as a comparison, basically we had the hitbox changes to all character models, along with the addition of passive healing. So perhaps whatever gets introduced here ends up being more technical than anything. Something that impacts the sort of feel and gameplay of the game, but isn't something that can necessarily be flashily advertised without actually playing the game itself. Which of course would lend to the fact that they are inviting creators out to actually playtest whatever these changes are going to end up being for the event itself, which means there is going to certainly be something tangible to show off as a part of this, regardless of what it ends up being. And on that note, I would love to hear your ideas about what's going to get announced during this Overwatch 2 spotlight in the comments down below. Do you have any specific ideas about what you're expecting to see? Which sort of heroes you think we're going to have revealed and what exactly is going to be shown of them? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, and I will also mention that I will be streaming this event when it does go live on Wednesday, February 12th, so I do hope you tune into my stream for us all to watch it together and see whatever ends up getting revealed, because regardless of what ends up coming, I think this is going to be a pretty big showcase for Overwatch. This is probably going to be one of the big ones we get over the next several months, so definitely one you won't want to miss out on. And otherwise though, be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch 2 news, streams, and other content. And special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible. If you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.